Swedish Finn polymath says, "Good. I need to get back into language learning. I want to learn Latin because it's cool. Yeah, Latin is cool. And Polish will no doubt be a useful language for me considering the line of work that I'm in. Is it import export or what is it? Anyway, what else? I believe that Carl Gustav Mannerheim is he a relative of mine. He spoke something like seven languages, among them Polish. Probably. I mean, he spoke. Carl Gustav Mannerheim was the leader of Finland during World War II. He definitely spoke Finnish. A lot of Finnish aristocrats had Swedish ancestry, so then I guess spoke Swedish as well. Definitely spoke Russian because, well, he was an old man and he was an aristocrat. So from Tsarist times, from when Finland belonged to Russia, yeah, 100% he spoke Russian as well. Uh, I've heard a recording of Carl Gustav Mannerheim speaking German with the mustache man, with the Austrian painter. I'm not going to say his name because for some reason YouTube doesn't like it. But yeah, I've heard that because yeah, I like listening to historical stuff. So yeah, he did speak German as well. That makes German Finnish. That's four, I think. But he probably spoke French, as most educated people did back then. Uh, and Polish, I don't know if he spoke Polish, but yeah, at least four or five languages he should. I think a lot of those people. I mean, they were not the same, but uh, a lot of world leaders back in the day in Europe, either e- both the aristocratic types and the intellectual revolutionary types, both types of leaders spoke a bunch of languages. I know Lenin and Trotsky spoke a bunch of languages. Stalin as well. Maybe not international. He wasn't a well-read guy, I think. Although, yeah, maybe he was. Yeah, yeah. Stalin spoke Russian as a second language. He spoke his native Georgian and then a couple of other languages from the Caucasus. And he wasn't like a highly educated guy, but he was well-read, I think. But all of those guys, they all valued reading and getting educated and learning foreign languages. French was a big thing back then. Educated people spoke French, and then obviously for political reasons like English, German, Russian were all interesting languages to learn. So people from smaller countries, like a little of Finland, yeah, it's likely that they spoke at least four or five languages, four or five for sure, and then maybe a couple more. Uh, but yeah, learn languages. Latin is also cool. I mean, nothing against the church, but I prefer the classical version of Latin. It sounds way cooler. The one Romans spoke during times of Caesar, and not the one used in church, which sounds way more like Italian. It's basically Latin with Italian pronunciation. That's the one used in church. The ancient, the one that the ancient Romans spoke was classical Latin. It's got different V's and C's, and it just sounds cooler, like more unique to me. The other one, kind of like a different version of Italian. That's what it sounds like to me. Anyway, yeah, learn languages not only for work, which is also good for you, but just like intellectual curiosity. Like Latin is not going to be useful, but it's interesting, and it's really interesting to read in Latin, read Cicero and Caesar and all those. Speaking it's not going to be all that useful, but just out of intellectual curiosity, why not?